Yeah, we're live. Disclaimer. We definitely need the disclaimer today.
Oh my
Pay
God, yes.
attention to the disclaimer.
Follow the instructions.
Because there's going to be a whole lot of. Here we are. Once again, the Shoot the Shit podcast with Joey Zaza and my guest, Sandy Felicies. My love, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, dear. How are you?
I'm doing very well. We're already silly, guys. Uh, Today, we're going to dig into idioms. Let's start it like that. Let's bring in the smart talk first.
Okay.
What's an idiom?
So it's not an idiot. It's the very first thing as an ELA teacher, right? When I start talking about idioms, um, the kids start snickering because they think I say idiot, right? And an idiom is a figure of speech. It's a figure of speech, which basically means it is a way of expression that says one thing, but it has another context. It has another meaning behind it. That's what figures of speech is. So an idiom is particular to culture and surroundings. And you have universal idioms where there's always like a universal translation, no matter what culture it is. It kind of like goes across the globe, across different cultures. And then you have other idioms that are very, very specific to the culture that it's coming from because of the situation. So that's pretty much what an idiom is.
Okay, and words, do one word phrases like does that count under idioms or?
Oh yeah, definitely. So it can be an idiom doesn't have like a limit of words or phrases or words within a phrase or whatever the case would be. It does. It's not. I don't want to go into turn this into an English class, but it's just basically.
Oh no,
Um,
this is gonna be the farthest thing from an English class today.
but basically, what it is a way of expression where it says a phrase that says or a word or a phrase that says a certain collective of words that says one thing, but it actually has a deeper or a different meaning than what it actually says. So it doesn't it implies something else. So it might be representing one thing or another, and that's pretty much what figures of speech are. And the idiom is just the ones that are closer to a cultural collective of phrases that are commonly said within a specific area.
Okay. So what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna be bringing out some idioms from Puerto Rico, which is where we're
Mhm.
from,
Can you tell?
obviously. Right? So we're gonna be translating them, telling you the context, like an earlier story that I put on our Facebook page. They say the first thing that you learn in any language is the bad stuff. Well, you tuned in, and you're welcome. Okay, because here we're gonna go with this. You know what? We're gonna start off with this one that John already. If I read that in English, tell me flying, my people.
Okay,
These things
dímelo
are
volando.
hilarious when you translate them literally into English. They're hilarious.
Okay, but I remember hearing it not volando, but cantando. Dímelo cantando, mi gente.
I've heard Dímelo Volando also.
Really? Okay, that's and then you see the variation of that idiom. So yes, tell it to me flying, my people, or tell it to me singing, my people. Now, to be fair, in Spanish and English, usually the construction of the sentences are kind of reversed. So, what would probably be um, the subject and the predicate in English would probably be reverse subject and predicate in Spanish. So, you would probably put one thing before the other, which is why a lot of people would say when they're learning the languages, they say, "Oh, it's backwards." It's not necessarily backwards. It's just the structure of the sentence changes.
So what would be the context of that one?
Um, just talk to me straight. Tell me quickly. I guess.
Because if
Just
things are quick enough, they're flying.
They're flying, exactly. Or tell it, singing to me, make it pleasing, make it quick, make it enjoyable, whatever it is you have to say, just tell me, talk to me.
All right, all right. Let's go. I have a small list.
Yeah, I've seen this list, okay? It's not small.
Yeah, so we're gonna have some fun for
That
one.
would be considered a hyperbole or an understatement, rather, an understatement.
Ah, shit.
Small.
Here we go. Here we
I
go.
can't help it. I'm in the middle of work.
Let's start with this one. Everybody, you says, everybody who's Puerto Rican says it at least a million times in their life. Ay bendito.
Bendito. Okay, hold on. I got because I really want to find the translation of bendito, and I want to say blessed.
That's what it sounds like. I believe it is.
Yes, I'm not wrong. Blessed, holy, blessed, sainted. So oh sainted, oh holy, oh blessed. Which would probably, if I were to translate it in English as an equivalent, would probably be bless me or blessed be or something like that. It's just like throwing a blessing out there.
Yeah, the context doesn't,
Ah,
the
I
way
said
we
translate,
use
not
it, because
context.
you can't say in English, oh, blessed sainthood, you're an idiot. In Spanish, ay bendito, pero que idiota. It kind of like flows more, you know what I mean? And
So the context is really like, oh my goodness, oh Lord, yeah, it would be kind of like, oh Lord, it's one of those. It's just like you're begging for some type of divinity to intervene because of this person's idiocy.
Okay, so
Or
we went divine. Now let's go the other way. Did people who are watching us, did you know there's hell and there's an old hell? El carajo viejo. Where
Yes.
exactly is el carajo viejo?
Well, I know that in Moca there is el carajo.
Right.
So there is a place called carajo, which translates to hell.
So will the older houses be called carajo viejo?
It's possible. It's very possible.
At least two of my grandparents have sent me to carajo viejo at least 20 times in my lifetime. So is it anywhere near, guys, ready for this one? Is it anywhere near El Jurutungo?
Which is also another place, right?
You're bullshitting me.
I don't know. Those of you in Moca, I believe there was carajo and the Jurutungo in Moca.
Really?
I swear I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
Because when people say stuff like, it was over there, por allá por el Jurutungo. It's kind of like saying, well, how many did you have? Like 800,000. I still don't know what the hell a 800 is.
I don't know either. What is a 800?
Whoever's watching, if you know what the hell a 800 is, please tell us.
Oh, okay. I'm having the tech gremlin is going to kick in for a second, so I'm going to need you to intervene while I interject.
Go ahead, take care of that. Guys, this is
live. Okay.
This is something that we used to do even when we were living on the island. We'd get drunk and just start translating things.
Fuck that. We used to do this in high school, bro.
When you translate some of these things, it's just like mete mano. Mete mano means like go ahead and do it, get with it, do it. Mete mano. But if you translate it literally, put your hand in it. And it's like you can kind of put your hands in it, get active with whatever it is that's in front of you. You know what I'm saying? But hey, put your hand in it. You got it. Just sounds weird. Guys, we're gonna keep going through these. Here's a word. Well, let's hope Sandy can, because I'm gonna need her on this, and all of you guys who are watching, I got a couple of one words here that you'll definitely hear on the island. All right. So here we go. Pichea. Oh my goodness, yeah. Being a pichen or having to deal with a pichel, and you have to say, you can't say pitcher, you have to call it a pichel. All right, that's a dude that's just he. Oh man, how would you even explain un pitcher? A pitcher is a dude that he's constantly, what I guess now you would say, he ghosts you. You call him, you need him, he needs you, he find you, but when you need him, nowhere to be around. He's always throwing the curveball. He's never shooting straight. Beaching. Cafre is another word. I have no idea where the hell this word comes from. So if you know, holla at us. Cafre is like somebody who's just I guess back in the day, like in the 50s, is what they called a square, a nerd, a nobody. You know what I mean? A cafre, a dude just doesn't have any style. We can't hear you, baby. You have your mute on. You're still checking? All right. Here's another one. Acho. Now there's some words in Puerto Rico where in one part of the island and on the other part of the island you may not hear the same thing. Like if you go to Ponce, you ask for an empanadilla. If you ask for a pastelillo, they look at you like you got three fucking heads. Yet in our side of the island, the Northwest, you say, yo, vamos pa uno pastelillo. Besides the fact it's normal everyday speak, they're like, hell yeah, we're on our way to hobos. You know what I mean? The best spot to get them. You still having tech trouble? Love. Their mic is not connected. Is what it's saying over here.
Mic check, mic check.
There you go. Oh, we had you. There you go.
Yeah, you can hear me?
We can hear you fine.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Here's another one I got for you. This is a salutation. And I'm gonna say it in English. Hey, what is what?
¿Qué es la que?
¿Qué la que? What is
But
what?
you know what?
The fuck you mean what is what?
That might be a translation to kind of like a transferring from one
what
thing,
it is.
because what it is, what's the deal, or not even what's the deal, because that's kind of more modern, but you know what I mean? It's just like an old 70s reference, and we were going back and forth between here and over there. So que la que might be how that came about.
Should we get ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Si te pica, porque ajo come.
If it itches, it's because you ate garlic.
What's the context of that one?
That would be okay, so what do you want? The context or a representation?
Both. Imagine there's somebody watching us that has no idea how to speak Spanish. We're hooking them up right now.
So if you eat it, it's because you ate garlic. I mean, if it itches, it's because you ate garlic. That's the literal translation.
What's crack-a-lacking?
Whatever it is that it means is that if it bothers you, is because you're probably guilty of it. If you have such a strong reaction, you probably
what they call feeling some kind of way.
Right. So a representation of that idiom would be if the shoe fits.
All right. How about this one? O te peina o te hace rolo.
It's one of my favorites, actually.
I love that one.
Either you comb your hair or you put the rollers in. The rollers in. So this make a decision is basically what it's trying to say. I can't think off the top of my head of an idiom in English, at least that translates to that. And the context is just like so much better in Spanish.
Whoever came up with this stuff is very creative.
I mean, Boricuas are creative.
No hay peor ciego que el que no quiera ver. That one is a good one. That's one of those life lessons there.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure
there might be grandparents telling me stuff like this, and I took it to memory, but it took me a long time to understand it.
The context. And it's funny because
I learned, pretty much, Spanish on the fly. You know what I mean? I got to Puerto Rico 2 weeks later. I had to start junior high school, and I knew nothing of Spanish. 3 words. That's all I knew. So stuff like this, it was like, okay, I'll memorize what you're saying. I have no fucking idea what it means. And yeah, now I realize, those are life lessons they were giving us. So go ahead. No hay peor ciego que el que no quiera ver.
There is not a worse blind person than that does not want to see. I'm pretty sure that there's a universal translation for that in English. But it's basically explaining that, you can't, I think it's that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, something within that same context. The context is basically saying, if the person doesn't want to, if they're denying the actual truth, you can't cover the sun, the sky with your hands and stuff like that. It's basically, you can't deny. There's not a person that's going to be able to see what's obvious to everybody else. If they're going to continuously deny it, you can't really do anything about it. There's no way.
Like John Jones's fiance. Oops.
Oh, I was uncalled for.
Too soon.
Too soon. Way too soon.
All right. Here we go. This one I'm gonna bring down in English.
Okay.
All right, you guys ready? Like a banana in an old lady's mouth.
Como guineo en boca vieja. It's quick. That's really fast. That's the context. What does it mean? Can you say it one more time?
Como guineo por boca de vieja.
Yeah, but you said it in English, like a banana in an old lady's mouth.
Like a banana in an old lady's mouth. These things are fucking hilarious. I love them.
Weird and a lot of innuendos and just the weirdest metaphors possible.
Oh, I got innuendo. Guys, ready? Arroz que carne hay.
Oh, I hated that one. I fucking hated that one.
Come on, that was classic, baby.
It was disgusting. You don't understand. That was like the worst cat call that ever existed in Puerto Rico. I swear to God, I fucking hated that one.
Are you
with
sure?
The passion.
I got another one that's old school. ¿Qué clase viste y yo hambriento?
Oh, fuck. Okay, but we didn't do either of them. All right, so they're food references, right? And then people, the culture, people is the culture. I freaking hated the first one. I really fucking hated the first one. Who said John? John, you know fucking help. So, what was the first one? Arroz que carne hay, ¿verdad?
Arroz que carne hay.
So, what is the typical? I'm going to say Puerto Rican, but it does go across the Spanish community and those who have been colonized by Spain. Typical food, especially for dinner, is rice with whatever kind of meat and beans, right? Rice, beans, and meat. So the cat call, tanta carnillo con queso. Oh, gross. It's fucking disgusting. I hate this one. I really do. So what it basically
we put up the disclaimer.
I know.
It's not going to get any better.
No, it's not. So it's basically a cat call. And what it is saying that, I need a side dish because there's a lot of meat in front of me. Meaning there's a very sexy lady that's walking by.
How about this one? Más largo que un día sin comer.
That one rings so true. If any of you have ever spent, hey, you know what? Life is interesting. It takes you through places and leaps and bounds. And I got to say one thing. When you go through struggles, it humbles you and it helps you remember, how to appreciate what you have. But longer than a day without eating. And that can be
back on that one because I've heard a variation to that one.
Oh, God.
Más largo que un chorro meado después de 3 cervezas.
Longer than a stream of piss after 3 beers.
That's right. That's long.
That's pretty fucking long.
I
don't think I need to bring the context in.
No. We're gonna go a little more old school on this one. Viejo es el viento y todavía sopla.
The wind is old, but it still blows.
Yes, that's good. That's my
That
grandfather
translates
used to
pretty
tell me that.
well.
Yeah, it does.
The wind is it's old. Oh, you're old. So is the wind, and it still blows.
Oh
That's
my
basically
goodness.
how you
Okay,
would
hold on.
answer.
You're probably gonna hate me, but we have to go back to this one because I haven't heard this one in a while. John, you my dude.
Si
Si
cocina como
cocina como
camina.
camina, me como hasta el pegado. Diablo.
Wasn't that a lyric on Vico C's song or something like that? Wasn't that?
Oh
Is
my.
that what is now? Here's my question: did that become an idiom, or was that just something that people just reiterated from the song? Because I remember that from the song.
I don't remember. I don't ever remember hearing that
Yeah, there was. I
from
think
the
it was a
song. I
Vico C
remember hearing
song.
that from like the
John,
taxi drivers and shit.
let me know because I don't know if it was what
You
came
said not
first,
sure, really.
the idiom or the song, but I do remember that. Si cocina como camina, me como hasta el pegao. Yeah, it was a Vico C song, old
All right,
school.
so since we got John there, this one we got from John. This is one of his jewels. They used to tell him when he used to leave lights on, and I remember this being told this too. Mira, te crees que soy corteja de con Edison?
So that does definitely translate to the diaspora, right? When
I
most
was
of
gonna
us,
say that Con Edison
yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't
there you go.
translate in.
There we see a little bit of history because there you can see the that's I guess the earlier wave of diaspora in the 40s. Was it that there was a larger wave of Puerto Ricans that moved to the United States, and so Con Edison was the electric company that especially in New York City, and it still is acting in New York City. I'm sure there are other energy suppliers, but that is the one that's everyone knows of. And so it would be, do you think I'm Con Edison's mistress? In other words, stop misusing the light because the light bill's going to skyrocket. It's going to go up high. Yeah, I remember that one.
Here comes another one. This one, I'm gonna throw this one in English. Like a frog. How is it? Like a frog in a latrine.
Like a frog, como sapo en letrina. I use that one a lot. I used to, how do you feel? And that food was delicious. I was like a frog in a latrine. Okay, for those of you who can't understand it, because latrine might be something that our younger viewers don't understand. The latrine is like that little outhouse, okay, that back in the day you didn't have plumbing in the house and you had to go to the house outside to take a poop. Okay, so imagine a frog being inside of that latrine where all those flies are swarming around on the shit that you just finished dropping in there. You get it now? Like a frog in a latrine, stuffed.
Here we go with this one. Eating a cable.
Comiendo un cable. Where
Comiéndome
the hell did
un
that come from?
cable.
I don't even understand where that came from. I was like,
I have no idea. The person's so bored. That its context is when you're really bored. Te estás comiendo un cable. You're just there. You're chewing on a cable.
being
Being
stuck.
stuck. Right. What John just was
Oh,
saying.
so like on a power line, like a live cable, and you're stuck and you're just
That makes
got
sense.
it. Thank
How
you,
about
John,
this
because
one? Más viejo que el frío.
older than the cold. That kind of falls right along with old as the wind. Um, I use older than ice because ice is pretty old.
How about this
Um,
one? Me voy cantando la borinqueña.
I am leaving while singing the Borinqueña, which is the Puerto Rican national anthem. um, it's just I'm leaving. I'm on my way.
A steady march.
It's a steady march, but it was a waltz.
True
Puerto Rico
that.
is the only country that has a national anthem that's not a march. That's actually a waltz.
So let's go into something a little faster. Se
Okay.
fue como Banshee robado.
Se fue como qué? That one threw me off. I hadn't heard that one before.
You really? Se fue como Banshee robado. The 4 tracks?
Uh-huh.
If they're fast to begin with, if you steal one, you're gonna fucking peel that motherfucker. So that's how fast he went. Se fue como Banshee robado.
Wow. Okay, that one's new for me. You stopped me on
Really?
that one.
Okay, okay. Uh, La piña está agria.
We're missing a Oh my God. Okay. So la piña está agria translates literally to the pineapple is bitter or sour. Um Basically saying we ain't got it like that. There's no money.
All right. Um, I think other Hispanic cultures say this, mijo and mija,
Yeah, because it's like a
instead
contrast.
of mi hijo, mi hija.
Yeah, it's a contraction. It's a contraction. So it's like ain't, or no, not ain't. Ain't's the wrong representation. Isn't, you
Really?
know, sorry. I can't help it. I'm in full blown teacher mode. This, you know what it is. It's the wrong time of the year to ask
How
me shit.
about this one? I'm gonna break this one down in English. You ready for this one? They hold on. They took him as the lower handle.
Lo cogieron de manga bajita. Yeah.
Lo cogieron de mango bajito. What does that mean?
You got taken for a ride, which would be the better equivalent of that. They're getting the best of you. You're being taken advantage of, or that person is being taken advantage of.
All right. What does it mean when a person is hot-footed? Pati
Está con la pata
caliente.
caliente. Oh my God. All right. It means that the person can't stay still. They're constantly in movement, usually from one place to another. It can be just the person is roaming free, like a tumbleweed, roaming like a tumbleweed.
Um, well, I think this one would translate come out with his. Salir con la de él.
Yeah, that's exactly how it translates to.
All right.
Those in the comment section really have to read John's last comment. It made our day. It really
we
did.
have to bring him on later, see if he actually tells the story. All right.
Oh.
Más perdido que un juez visco.
More lost than a cross-eyed crab. I don't know if I had to translate what the context is, but you can imagine how confused the crab would be cross-eyed, because they do walk either left or right. It's very
Sideways.
rare for them to.
Válgame.
No translation.
There is none, right? I couldn't find any.
Válgame is like, that has to be a body thing, because I haven't heard anybody else in any other culture, and I've come across so many different, I know what it means. It's like, damn, very good, John. But the issue is that there's no way for me to actually translate that so John just finished.
And I think it's actually a northwest of the island thing.
It's possible. Válgame. Válgame. I really don't know what it means. It's just an expression that we say, but it's not something that I can that literally say this is what it means. You can use the context to translate, like the damn or whatever, but yeah, I have like no words of what it means. Yeah, rayo.
Yeah, rayo. Now, Puerto Rico does something that's very similar to Jamaica, the patois, which is take half of this word and half of this word and put them together, and now you have both of them.
Yeah,
So
it's
the one that immediately jumps to my head is cantoe, which is piece of. Because apparently when we curse somebody out, sometimes you don't want to curse out the whole person. You just want to curse out a specific piece of them. Cantoe bruto, cantoe mojón, cantoe whatever. Just you're a piece.
You know what? And yet I found it to be different. It's not like you don't want to say the whole person is like, that's not how I look at it. I look at it like you're such an insignificant person that you're not even a full person. You're just a piece. That's how I saw it.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna have fun. Okay. translating this one. I'm so
Here we
happy
go.
we did the disclaimer at the beginning. Más feo que una cagada en Dios en Semana Santa.
Okay, I don't know if I want to translate that. Woo! So it is uglier than shitting on God on Holy Week.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Okay, so yeah, that's what it is. It's
Self-explanatory. The person is really, really, really ugly.
it's heresy. Yeah, go.
Go for the next one. All right. I'm gonna tell you one without even having to say a word. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Because apparently we do sign language too.
It's still a form of language. That's gesticulation, so that's body
What
language.
is this?
Ese que camina tan duro que camina por los codos. In other words, he's stingy. Yeah, that's stingy.
Maceta.
Maceta.
Now, how does something, a blunt weapon, turn into stingy?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't get it.
Here's another one. Here's another sign language. Hey, where's this at?
So, true story.
Mira puñeta ahí. Ahí.
If it's left, go lefter.
We point with our lips for some reason.
Yep.
Why?
Because our hands are always busy doing other shit. I mean, if you're out in the sugarcane field and you got a bundle of sugarcane in your arms and you got a machete, it's the only thing I get to point with.
All right, let's go into this one. Agua pasada no mueve molino.
I don't think I've heard that one.
Really? Well, the way I took it, right? Things that are there at the moment, like the water, is what's going to push the water wheel around. But if it already passed, don't worry about it because it's not what's going to keep you in action right now.
That makes sense.
No mueve molino.
No mueve molino. That makes sense.
Camarón que se duerme termina en ensalada.
That's not what it says.
Camarón que se duerme se lo lleva la corriente.
So the shrimp that is the snoozing shrimp will be taken by the current. That's basically what it means. Is you slow, you blow your chances. You slow, you blow. Fall asleep. Don't procrastinate.
A caballo regalado no se le mira el colmillo.
Okay. There was one that would. Beggars can't be choosers.
That's what I figured.
That's what it means. If somebody is giving you something,
Translate
it. Say it one more time.
A caballo regalado no se le mira el colmillo.
There's no use in inspecting the horse that's been given to you. The horse's teeth that's been given to you. Yeah.
Dime con quién anda y te digo si necesito pon.
That's not what it says.
Dime con quién anda y te diré quién eres.
So that I don't know how many times my teachers, my parents, my family members would say.
And in Puerto Rico, especially in school, if they tell you that, dime con quién anda y te diré quién eres, either before or after, you would call a títere.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been called a títere I don't know how many times.
Yeah,
maybe they're not completely wrong.
I guess. Cuando tú ibas, ya yo venía.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. That's right. Okay.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Wait, but go back to Dime quién anda y te diré quién eres. We didn't translate that one.
Go ahead.
So that basically, tell me who you're walking with, and I'll tell you who you are. That's the literal translation. But birds of a feather flock together is the universal translation.
The classic mother ones, yes. Those were, well, actually, I got them more from my grandmother.
Mother still.
Yes. Okay. Thank goodness I didn't get this one from my grandmother. Even though I wouldn't doubt it from Mama Gloria, right? Pero, usted habla cuando la gallina mean.
What the fuck is that? In other words, don't speak. It's when the cows come home, when the pigs fly, and now we got pissing chickens.
Yeah. Okay. People, chickens don't piss.
They don't
Chickens
pee.
don't piss. Just letting y'all know.
Oh yeah, for those who don't know, in country, and that's another thing. The country has a shit ton of idioms because there's so many things around it that will give you a comparison because that's where they come from.
Oh
Yo,
hell
cuando
yeah.
la gallina mean, I've never heard that shit.
My favorite one in English country style is you're about as how is it? You're about as useful as hen shit on a pump handle.
Yep.
God damn. What does it mean when somebody is una cucaracha en baile de gallina?
They used to tell me that all the time because I was always in a place that I didn't belong. And that's pretty much what it is. It could be taken in two different contexts, right? So the first context is like a roach in a hen's dance, or hen's barn, or hen's coop, a chicken coop. Um, a roach would definitely be picked up really quickly by any chicken because that's a yummy grub for a chicken, right? But then at the same time, there's another one that might translate. I don't know if you have it on your list or not, but it also can mean that you're in danger. You're in danger of being snatched up or getting hurt or whatnot. So that como cucaracha en baile gareña, you are a fish out of water, out of place.
Well, you know
That's
what? I have one somewhere around here. There's still a whole lot more, so we're gonna try to speed it up. But I have another one that's kind of like that, and it's no es lo mismo llamar al diablo que verlo llegar.
But that's different because that's more of a warning. Okay, literal translation. It's not the same calling the devil by his name than seeing him on his way. They see him coming your way. So what does that mean? It basically means, yeah, it's easy to talk that shit,
Mm-hmm.
but when you see the person face to
When you keep
face,
that energy.
yeah, keep that energy. That's which is what people are saying now, right? And still, it's funny how you take an idiom and translate it with another idiom, but yet people understand it that way.
What does it mean when somebody está más tirado que un peo? More
Well,
thrown than a fart.
more thrown than a fart.
That sounds so awkward in English. Hey man, you're looking more thrown than a fart. Well, thank you.
Well, I mean, it's tighter than a frog's ass. But yeah, it basically means that you're looking good. You put yourself together. Not like, oh hey, sexy, you're looking good, but you look put together. You look really fancy and really dressed up. Está más tirado que un pez.
Más salado que un canto bacalao.
Oh, saltier than codfish. That's basically what it is. So when someone is salty, it's not the same translation as what you'll hear now, or at least in the Midwest. When in the Midwest, someone says that they're salty, they're angry, they're grumpy, they're grouchy, they're feeling some kind of way. Salty in the context that this idiom is saying is basically you have a really bad luck. Okay.
It's kind
There's
of like
nothing sweet
what is
coming
it,
your
the
way.
dark cloud over you?
Yeah, the dark cloud that's always following you. You have really bad luck. And things are definitely not going your way. So saltier than codfish. If you've ever seen dried codfish and the copious amounts of salt that is put there in order to be able to preserve it, that's what they mean. That kind of codfish.
All right.
Not bad, not bad, not bad. These are fun.
Here's an easy one. Brincando el charco.
Oh, so that's jumping the puddle, right?
Jumping the puddle.
But what it definitely means is, and there's a translation, jumping the pond. Okay.
Really?
Yes, and that usually means when you're going across the Atlantic, jumping the pond. If you're talking about somebody that's in England and they jump the pond to the United States, so that actually does translate that way. So basically, what it means is you're going, you're traveling overseas.
Dos güeyes machos no viven en la misma cueva.
So two male crabs do not live in the same den or cave. Basically saying you can't have two leaders, two strong headed alpha male leaders in one place. They're always going to bump heads or fight or argue and all of
Kind of
that.
like in what was it? Forbidden Kingdom
Two
with
tigers
Jet
can't
Li
live.
and Jackie Chan. Two tigers can't be on the same mountain.
Correct.
¿Qué esperas de una mula? ¿Una patada o un beso?
What do you expect from a wait? That would be from
A mule.
a mule, a
What do you
kick or a
expect from a
kiss.
mule? A kiss or a kick?
Right. So don't raise your expectations too high about the person that you're talking about. And if they're as dumb as a mule, yeah.
Okay. I don't even know how to translate this one.
I'll
I'm
give it a
just
shot.
gonna try it in English. Okay, you're the most.
Okay, eres lo más.
El más.
El más.
Ay, ya el más sabio. Ay, ya el más lindo. Ay, ya el más jodón.
So right now the kids are using that same thing. You're doing the most. You're just like you're going overboard. You're te pasaste. But in this case, the context means like, you think that you are above everyone else in whatever it is that they're referring to as far as a skill. If you guys have anything in the comments, please
throw them up there.
Throw them up there.
Amigo, es un peso en el bolsillo.
Okay, I got a literal a equivalent to that, but a friend is $1 in the pocket. Which basically means you can find friends a dime a dozen. So they're very easy to find, it's not something that might have a lot of value. It can leave very quickly. One moment you have a friend, the moment it's gone. It doesn't last very long.
A dime a dozen would be the equivalent to a dos por chavo.
Mm-hmm. Which is 2 for a penny.
Which I've been hearing that for the longest in the island.
Yeah.
A dos por chavo, that means it's really, really inexpensive. Okay, here we go. When you talk about somebody and they're praising them and you know they're bullshitting, you tell them, buena gente es el pan y te da las dos tetas.
Where the fuck do you get this shit from? Jesus.
Yeah, there's a lot rattling on up in here. I just absorb all the wrong things.
Okay, guys, for those of you who don't know who we are, we're married. We've been together for quite some time.
You guys deal with me for about an hour or something. She's got to deal with me 24/7.
Never a dull moment. I'll tell you that one. He makes life interesting. So, what? Okay, say that one again.
He said, deja comer, he said.
John is good because John gives you the response to all of these idioms. There's some idioms that has an answer to them, because not only do you call out the idiom, but you got, Puerto Ricans are such smart asses that we got an answer back.
So here we go. Buena gente es el pan y te da las dos tetas.
Okay. The good people is the bread and it gives you both tits. Fuck. Okay, so the bread that is in Puerto Rico is very much like in ciabatta, Italian, French bread, the loaf of bread, right? The way that and you'll find it in any bakery that is coming a dime a dozen in any corner. You'll find a bakery, and the bread there is just absolutely delicious. I miss it. Vamos el pan este fin de semana. So what it's saying is that the bread is good and bread is delicious and it gives you both tits. We call the end of the bread a tit or an ass, depending on, who you're talking to. And sigimi. And that's basically it's saying that, people, I guess it's, I mean, what does it translate to? What's the context of that? Because I'm just shocked.
It's just that. This guy is good people. Buena gente es el pan y te dan las dos tetas, which means you don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Um, that egg wants salt.
Okay, true story.
What is it in Spanish though?
Ese huevo quiere sal.
Ese huevo quiere sal.
Ese huevo quiere sal. My grandmother and my mom used to tell me that all the time, especially when Friday would come up. Mommy, and that tone of mommy means you want something, you need something, you're gonna ask for something. Ese
And
huevo
the
quiere
egg
sal.
wants salt. Here we go. Okay. Let's go to this one. And we'll work our way up. La quinta pata de un gato. The cat's fifth leg. That sounds so wrong.
But you got to say buscando la quinta pata de un gato.
And what would that mean?
Looking for the cat's fifth leg. In other words, you're confusing the tail for the fifth leg, can't find it, and you're basically complicating things. You don't need to complicate things. Just keep it simple.
Como pandereta aleluya.
So, if you've ever been to church and you've seen the tambourine, right? That's basically what it is, a tambourine being hit by somebody in a fervor of whatever gospel that they're listening to and singing. Yeah, you're hit that hard and that frequently as that tambourine.
Speaking of hit, because I couldn't really find, I'm not sure if these things these words are used outside of PR, pero trompa, piñazo, cocotazo, y pescosa.
Trompa, I've heard across different cultures, especially in the Caribbean. I've heard in the Dominican Republic, una trompa. That I've definitely heard. Cocotazo, bori. I don't think I've heard a cocotazo. Le voy a dar como pandereta de iglesia. Yeah, I haven't heard a cocotazo any other place. So I'm like, what is a cocotazo? It's like, the head is like a coconut, right? So un cocotazo, you're hitting somebody in the head.
And pescosa?
Pescosada. That's a slap in the face, it's basically a crack across the face.
Yeah,
but it's
it
like
sounds heavy.
It is. It's like a bitch slap, a pimp slap. That's what it is. It's a pimp slap. Una pescosa.
All right. Scrape yourself to hell.
Raspate pa'l carajo. So we're scraping left and right.
Or also accepted, paint yourself to hell.
Paint yourself to hell. Same thing. Just adhere yourself to hell. So we send them flying.
Does the way you get to hell actually matter?
I guess so. This depends on how fast you're going to get there.
Scraping or painting?
Painting is you're stuck there.
If you're painting, don't you have to scrape it first?
Right. True.
Here's a good one. Chúpate ese en lo que te mando la otra.
Oh, wow. That was an old one. Okay, so suck on that one while I peel the other one. The fuck? Woo! So basically saying, look, I told you so.
And that's like one of the oldest ones we have.
Yeah. I told you so. I schooled you. I basically taught you what it was. There is no other argument. It's done. It's a mic drop. Okay. That's it. We're done.
Here's another one that mixes two things together. Lenguilargo. Long tongue.
Long of the tongue. Somebody who talks a lot of shit is gossiping, usually, giving tall tales. Uh, there
What
has to
about
be.
I don't have hair on my tongue?
Oh, I like that one too. I don't have hair in my tongue basically means I'm going to tell you what it is.
Spanish?
No tengo pelo en la lengua. There's, if you have
I love to
everybody's,
say most of our friends from Puerto Rico no tienen pelo en la lengua.
nah, mano.
They let you know straight up, dead
But
ass.
most of our friends from Puerto Rico are of our generation. And gotta say it, Generation X, we've been through some shit. So we're just like, you know what? It is what it is. It
Speaking
is
of
what it is.
Generation X, Dios los cría y ellos se juntan.
Word. Oh, but there is a I forgot how to say it in English.
That one?
Yes, there is a literal translation for that one in English. I just forgot how to say it. Basically,
God makes them and they find each other.
we raise them, but God makes them and we raise them. Something like that. It kind of like does a rhyming thing. But basically, God makes them. What was it in Spanish? Dios
Dios
los
los
hace.
cría y ellos se juntan.
Dios los cría y ellos se juntan. So God raises them and they come together. Basically saying they're cut of the same cloth. Um, these are the people who
Oh, word. I've heard that change in it. Dios lo hace, ellos se juntan y el diablo los cría.
basically saying God makes them, they come together, and the devil raises them. Yeah, they're just bad news.
A cada cerdo le llega su Navidad.
Every pig will get its Christmas. That's very cultural. In Puerto Rico, one of the epitomes of Christmas celebration is to roast a pig on a fire pit. And it's rotisserie roasted or whatever. But well, actually
And everyone,
today one of my students was I'm always teaching my kids about the Puerto Rican culture because they have a Puerto Rican teacher, and I work in the Midwest in Ohio, and like I said before, there's a lot of convincing of people that Puerto Rico is not a place in Mexico. So they're still curious. They always ask me things and whatnot. And I was telling them that we saw the video yesterday about this guy that went from New York to Puerto Rico to just find these different places. And I saw that we saw two spots that we were familiar with, and it was exciting to see. And so he's like, y'all eat baby cows like that? And I was like, that's not a baby cow, that's a pig. And yes, that's how they eat it. I don't eat
mhm.
pork, but it is cultural. You
Here they
roast
used
the
to
pig on
everything
this.
getting cut into, the
Yeah,
feet, the leg, the shoulder, the
they process it more. But in Ohio is where the term "where pigs fly" was born.
started. Yes, but that's for another day. Let's keep going. We have a whole bunch more. He ended up without the rope or the goat.
Se quedó sin la soga y la cabra. So it's basically saying he tried to take advantage of the situation and he ended up losing on everything.
Allá ellos que son blancos y se entienden.
Let them allá ellos. How do I translate allá ellos? That's them, that they're white and they understand each other. I
I
mean,
guess.
allá ellos. It's basically saying, the division, that's a social division more like than a cultural division, but it can be depending on the context that you're using it. But, that's a whole other group of people and they
Yeah,
understand
I've
each other.
always heard it like, Grandpa, why are they doing that? Ay, yo no sé, allá ellos que son blancos y se entienden.
Yeah, this is like, I don't understand what they're doing. Don't
And
even
I
worry
didn't
about it.
understand it the first time Grandpa told me because I looked to the side like a dumbass, and I looked to the side and I'm looking at my family, and I'm like, but they're all just as dark as me. What the fuck are you talking about? I didn't understand what was saying. All right, una olla de grillos.
Una olla de grillos, a pot of crickets. Yeah, it's either extremely loud, whatever the situation is, extremely loud. Now, let me tell you, a cricket in Puerto Rico is not the same thing as the crickets over here. Okay,
And they are loud.
they are They are obnoxiously loud. They're not loud, they're obnoxious.
So when
It's
you
like
have
a
like a lot of
constant.
obnoxious, loud people together, that's when you say una olla de grillo.
Yes, una olla de grillo. Or when you have a situation where there's a lot of gossip going on and it's just messy and loud and just unpleasant, same thing.
All right. Cada loco con su tema,
Every crazy person with their theme.
which
Okay. And
means
which basically
just
means
leave them
they
alone.
just leave them alone. They understand their own, they're in their world. They understand what it is. Yeah. Holy shit, there's a lot of them.
The monkey knows the tree it goes up.
Oh, I
Or
use
the
that one
monkey
all the
knows the
time.
tree it climbs.
And I say it exactly that the monkey knows the tree it climbs. El mono sabe el palo que trepa. They're like, and I say, okay, in my country, that's how I
In
introduce
my
it when I'm at
country,
work. In my country, I have to say it like that. In my country, we have a saying, the monkey knows the tree it climbs. What does that mean? It means that
he knows his place.
he knows his place. The monkey knows what he's doing, knows which way to go to get what he wants, right? All of those things can apply.
Here's one which they do not know how to apply this to their life here in the Midwest. Unfortunately, the majority of the people, not all, but the majority. El vago pasa doble trabajo.
The lazy person puts twice the work. Yeah, lazy person spends twice the work. Don't have a literal translation for that one, but it's true.
If you're lazy, you're gonna end up doing double the work.
Yes.
Desvestir un santo para vestir a otro.
Taking from Peter to pay Paul. That's
Oh
the
shit,
literal
that's right.
translation. Yeah, stealing from Peter to pay Paul. So, undressing one saint to dress the other is the literal translation, but taking from Peter to pay Paul is what it translates to.
How about this one? Más jalao que un timbre de guagua.
Pulled more than the bell of a bus. Yeah.
A person jalao will look like
Gaunt.
Stephen Bonner right now. Oops, too
Oh,
soon.
God.
Also, I need to stop.
Stop. Anyways, mahalo. So, the gauntness of a face when somebody's just not well healthy and they're really skinny and
Guys,
they're
think
really.
of Thinner.
Yeah, the Stephen King story of Thinner. Right, same thing.
Almost
Same
every weigh-in in UFC, they just suck
Or
dry. Tan jalao.
yeah.
Okay, hay que llevar dos sacos.
Oh, you got to carry 2 bags.
Is
Or
there
2 sacks.
anything in English like similar to that? Equivalent?
I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure there is.
All right. How about this? Soñando con pajarito preñado.
Oh, dreaming of pregnant birdies. Yes.
Context of that?
Daydreaming is what it means. You're daydreaming.
All right. How about this one? Pena es primo de jódete.
Empathy is the cousin of your fucked.
Yeah.
And so once again, I like that, John. You can only win or lose for hay que llevar dos sacos.
Yep.
So you got to be ready to win. You got to be ready to lose. You can't win it all. You can't win it all.
You got to give and take.
You got to give and take.
This one's interesting. This one's interesting because in English, I've heard ignorance is bliss.
Right.
But in Spanish, we have la ignorancia es atrevida.
Oh, so the ignorance is not bliss in this case. The ignorance is daring. The ignorance is bold. That would be the better word to translate. Ignorance is bold.
And it's usually in a very bad.
Yeah. Ignorance is bliss is like, oh, that person is oblivious, to what's happening. They don't even realize what they're doing and leave them in that state of mind, because once they find out, it's just like, okay, then you're going to be fucked. But ignorance is bold, saying that they're really stupid in what they're doing.
How about lo que no mata engorda?
Oh, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger?
Fatter.
But in this case, it's fatter. But
Yeah.
remember that there was a time that if you were hefty, you were considered healthy because you're eating well.
Well, I've always heard it when I was like, look, you shouldn't have that cake, really. Ah, lo que no mata engorda.
Right. That's basically being a gluttonous person and saying, if it doesn't kill you, you'll be just getting fatter. That's all right. You're fine.
Le pide permiso a un pie para mover el otro.
You ask permission of one foot to move the other. Lazy.
That's a lot of stuff to call somebody lazy.
Yeah, well.
Como anillo al dedo.
Oh. I got it. That translates to, literal translation is like a ring to a finger, but the context is as fits you like a glove. That was it.
Yes, good. No es lo mismo ni se escribe igual.
It is not the same, nor is it written the same. And I say it all the time, and they look at me like, huh? Because I do literal translations. No es lo mismo ni se escribe igual. It's not the same thing.
Sleeping in the straw.
Durmiéndose en las pajas. Snoozing in the barn.
Which is pretty much that. You're just gone.
Yeah, taking a nap, because that does translate to country. So it's like somebody taking a nap in the barn with the straw instead of out in the field working. So that durmiéndose en las pajas.
Covering the sky with your hand.
Tapar el cielo con la mano. Trying to ignore the obvious. And yeah, cover the sky. You can't cover the sky you can't cover the sun with your hands or something like that. You can't shield the sun with just your hands. Something like that.
Don't go back, not even for momentum.
Right.
Para
no eche para atrás
atrás ni para impulso.
Ni para impulso.
Que te hindan el fundillo.
My grandmother used to tell me that don't take a step back. Keep pushing forward.
This one's easy. Para el gusto se hicieron los colores.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Right. Perro que ladra no muerde.
A dog that barks doesn't bite.
Le dan pon y quiere guiar.
You give him a ride and he wants to drive. I love it.
Perro flaco soñando con longaniza.
Skinny dog dreaming of sausage.
Yeah. Here's a good one. Alicate.
A wrench.
Right. But when you call somebody an alicate,
it is the hench. I want to say like henchman, but not. It kind of translates to that. It's basically somebody who's used as a tool. They're just that person that's being used as a tool to do their bidding.
Now, when people talk a lot of shit, do they get thirsty? Because I know in Puerto Rico, we tell people to tomate un buche de clavo.
Take a sip of nails?
Yeah.
Take a swig of nails? I mean, oof. It basically means shut up, but, permanently.
Okay. Pura vida.
Oh, the pure life. And that is actually a universal one for Spanish speakers. And the pure life is surfing. That's a surfing term. And it's just it's the pure life of living in bliss with nature. Yeah, it's a wonderful term.
So that one's universal, at least around the.
It's more of a broader use within all surfing communities all over the world. Pura vida.
Now I know, like in.
Speaking of surfing, side note. The surfer who invented the boogie board in Mori Boogie, he died this week.
Wow.
Yeah, he was 84 or something like that.
Well, is this one also, is this just Caribbean, just Puerto Rican, or is this also through the whole surfer world? Ew!
I think the EU is developing into a universal call. EU.
He's like a coconut.
Está como coco. In good health, the best condition that you can be in.
Go through the shade.
Busca la sombra.
Vayan por la sombra.
Vaya por la sombra. It's like the hip hop AO. The EU is like the hip hop AO. Yeah, I can see that.
The vayan por la sombra is pretty much like, keep yourself shaded, keep yourself out of trouble. Keep yourself safe.
Stay out of the heat.
Yeah. He felt like a breadfruit.
Cayó como pana. If you have ever experienced the sound of a breadfruit falling at least 20 feet from the top of the tree, yeah, hard, loud, and somehow they stay together most of the time.
0 to the left.
Well, yeah, it's mathematically inclined. It means it doesn't have any value.
Cero a la izquierda. Just
yeah, cero a la izquierda.
All right. En boca cerrada no entra mosca.
Keep your mouth shut. Don't let the flies in your mouth. And that's basically what it means. Don't let the flies in your trap or something like that. I think that's kind of like what it's supposed to translate to. But basically just más calladito.
Que venga el chorro.
Que venga el chorro. Let the stream go or let it come. Yeah, let the stream come.
That's like bring it on.
That's
just such a bad, que venga el chorro. Bring it on.
Yeah, just let the stream go.
Let
the floodgates open.
Como la peste de un peo.
What?
Como la peste de un peo.
Like the stink of a fart everywhere.
Nunca diga de esa agua no beberé.
Never say that I will never drink of that water. Never say never is basically what it means.
Okay, here's one. Instead of calling somebody mad, we say they're stinky.
Está pestoso. And yeah, look at that face. Yeah, that's the face that somebody who's cranky has. I'm mad. So it looks like they stink. Must be your upper lip.
Okay. If someone says or does something really dumb or clumsy, you go, cuidado que patea.
Oh, fuck. It says, careful, it kicks. In other words, you're talking about the mule, the jackass that you are. And you're warning somebody else, that person's a jackass. Careful, it kicks.
How about this one? Eye liquor.
Lambeojo. That's translates to brown noser. In other words, they're kissing somebody else's ass.
Well, some people, their face and their ass is the same thing.
If they have their head up their ass, it's obviously.
Right. Okay. La fiebre.
Oh, the fever. The fever. And yeah, that pretty much translates to the same thing. There's a fever going on this. I don't know. Maybe it's because of the way we speak. But I think
usually in the streets of PR, la fiebre means racing, the racing circuit.
Eso la fiebre de the racing circuit. But I've heard that being used as una fiebre de esto, una fiebre de lo otro. So it's like a fanatism.
Una fiebre, but la fiebre.
You're being specific.
Fever.
The fever, not a fever. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
The article's important.
Putting in a Creole.
Really?
Did you get
Echando
that?
Una criolla.
Putting in a Creole.
Is it really a Creole or is it the criolla? Really? Oh God. It's a poop reference. You're taking a shit.
Just like taking a shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it when somebody is begging for mercy, you say that they are pidiendo cacao?
They're asking for cocoa. I don't know why.
I have no idea. But I know that's the context. When they're bargaining for mercy or just,
Yeah,
no,
that
no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. You
wasn't
know, that
me. Excuses, excuses, and then está
pidiendo
pidiendo
cacao.
cacao.
All right. Ah, he missed by a pussy hair.
Ay, esquivo por pelo de crica. Yeah, it's really
That
close.
very close. Okay. I think I'll let loose this one. I'm gonna say this one in English. Letting loose feathers.
Soltando plumas. Is usually referring to somebody who is being, I guess, extra. When it comes to showing their femininity, is usually for men who are showing gay affinity. Soltando pluma, because I don't know, birds. Oh, pato. That's where it comes from. Pato. I'm serious. That's where it comes from. Being and pato is what you call. It's
Duck.
a derogative form of calling somebody a gay, right? Es pato. Si está soltando pluma is referring to that they're gay, they're duck. For some reason, that's what it is.
How about this? No joda, ahora los pájaros le tiran las escopetas.
I don't know.
Really?
Never heard that one.
You've never heard that? No
Yeah.
joda, ahora los pájaros le tiran a las escopetas.
So, okay.
Which means, oh shit, now you turning things around. Now you're the one in charge. Now you big man.
Now the birds are the ones shooting at the guns. Gotcha.
Be careful, an Indian died like that.
And there's a debate on how you answer. That one has an answer. So, John, si un indio
For
murió
that time,
así,
I was a cowboy.
si un indio murió así, ¿cómo es que tú le contestas? How do you answer? So, careful. Eso es. Cuidado que un indio murió así. You see, y era de esa tribu. You see how there's always an answer for that? And so I've heard, y murió feliz. That's what I heard. Yeah, he died happy.
You know what? I'm gonna throw this before I forget it, because we already blasted through the hour.
Really?
I always thought that this word was actually like a bad word, and I was told about 2 or 3 days ago that it's actually in the Bible, ramera.
But a ramera, isn't that the palms? The palms that were given to
I'm gonna throw the other words that go with it: pellejo, cohete, escorvejo.
So it's supposed to mean a promiscuous woman. Ramera.
I think prostitute. I think it's supposed to be prostitute.
Yeah, a promiscuous woman or what have you. So, ramera. I've never heard of ramera.
Like I can't believe it.
Okay.
And the definition of escorvejo is no vale nada.
Escorvejo means it doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about this one? Bicha.
So that's when it becomes a more Puerto Rican thing versus anything else, because the word bicho can mean insect depending on which culture you're in. Bicha is basically a gross translation of bitch, which means an unpleasant woman, right?
But more nagging. It's kind of like what they call nowadays a Karen is a bicha.
Yes. Bicha literally translates into a Karen. Yep.
All right. And okay.
Come
I
on,
got a
finish it
few
off
more.
good.
Okay. To mean that you have no money, if somebody asks you if you have money and you're gonna tell them no, you tell them estoy como el culo del mono.
Yes, estoy más pelado que el culo del mono. I am more bare than a baboon's ass.
Cagar más arriba del culo.
Shit higher than your ass. Stuck up, conceited, trying to reach a status that's higher than where you're actually at.
When somebody's lazy, you call them a sweet potato. Que batata eres.
Why?
I
heard it, but why?
Lazier than the top jaw. Más vago que la quijada de arriba.
True, because you don't use the top part of your jaw as much as the bottom.
All right. Oh, okay. A smoker. Only because I couldn't find the translation for it. Smoker. Fumón.
Oh, yeah. A wedgie. What the fuck?
Si te coge la Winston, te empaca.
Está más cuadrado.
No, it's because you really got a fumón. You got a smoker in there. You got so.
That's right.
That one. Okay. Ooh. Leave you planted.
Leave you stuck.
Dejar plantado.
Yeah, you got stood up.
All right. If there's no bread, crackers.
A falta pan galleta.
Yes. While the axe goes and comes.
En lo que la hacha va y viene.
In a 2x3.
En un 2x3.
That means very quick for some reason.
Yeah, like 1, 2, 3.
Like a tube and 7 faucets.
Como un tubo con 7 llaves. A lot. Okay, it's like a tube with 7 faucets.
If you don't scream, you don't suck.
Oh, closed mouths don't get fed.
Ay, que no grita no mama. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. This one's infamous. A rice with ass.
Un arroz con culo.
Yes. What the hell is a rice with ass? Un arroz con culo, for those who don't know.
A hot fucking mess.
And here's the one that you were probably dreading, and we're going to start closing off the segment with this one. John, are you ready out there? El Bobby Brown.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm not translating that shit.
Tirando el Bobby Brown.
Nope.
No?
No, I'm not. Okay, fine.
Should I help?
Bobby Brown.
You want me to help?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tirando Bobby Brown.
There it is. If y'all can't figure it out, call me.
And we're gonna finish on that note. Go out there, take a shower, tírate un Bobby Brown. This is Shoot the Shit with Joey, Zaza, Sandy, Felicies. Next week, we are hoping to have Juan Riestra here talking to us about imperialism. We're always gonna also hopefully have Mr. Bolt. If you're watching
Let's
this,
see Brittany, come on down.
And everybody, like I said, your prerogative, Bobby Brown. I check y'all.
Bye. Crazy ass.